Pako, here are my thoughts regarding the costumes. The most beautiful has to be Quetzal for Mariana. She will stay in that costume throughout the entire ballet. So it can be a little bit more complicated and it has to be very beautiful, flowing, elegant, sexy, mysterious. For El Poeta, it's going to be, they have to be very, see the body, but not too much, not like in ballet, but neutral tones, kind of boring, no colors really, all the same color, but like a poet, flowing, elegant, young. The humans, the six in Act 1, can be very, very similar to El Poeta. But it has to be a costume that they can get out of and become Quetzals in the second act. So they're going to have half an hour to change over and be Quetzals. The Quetzal costume needs to be able to come off, and they need to go back to being humans. In the middle of Act 2, two at a time, they leave the stage as humans. And it needs to be a dramatic change, not just a few things. So really get the human, maybe underneath can be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But, and then the Quetzal costume will go on the 6 students, who then will come back on for everybody at the end. So we'll have 14 people on the stage at the end. And so that Quetzal costume needs to be less elaborate and more flexible than Mariana's. For me, the important thing is that people can see their bodies, because ultimately the ballet, it's about dance, it's about the dancers. And the people come to the theater to see the dancers. The story and the costumes and all of that is just to create room for them to perform. So not too much costume that hides their bodies. You need to see it. I want to see the movements, and they use their body to express themselves. If we cover too much, they can't sing. And finally, we're going to need some special cape or a headdress or something for El Poeta to put on after he becomes the king at the end. And there'll be 2 of the students can bring out the robe and a headdress, and when he becomes the king, we put it on his head, and you know, he becomes Quetzalcoatl. For the Quetzal, I think we could just imitate the Quetzal with white leotards, orange shiny material for the upper body, and then wings that can come off, but very colorful, good, not cheap looking. When discussing how he creates ballets, Mehdi once told me that he begins with a lot of research on everything that he can find out about the topic. Then he listens to the music until he can anticipate every note, until he knows the whole music. He just knows it by heart. Then he designs the sets, and then he designs the costumes. And when he has all of that together, he blocks out his story. Then he begins to create the steps. Only then, at the very end. That's the last piece of the puzzle. So many choreographers are now, they turn on the music and they start dancing around. It's not how it works. Not for a great ballet.